Hello, I'm Katie, co-founder of Enough, a non-profit trying to prevent rape in the UK. I'm not going to talk about the problem. We all know that it is far too great and that serious work needs to be done to stop this harm happening in the first place. I want to talk about the solution and the solutions that we need to be involved in and considering to make serious change. The type of solutions that might feel uncomfortable and difficult right now, but generations will look back on and think they were the ones to do things differently and make those hard decisions that have made things better for everyone. Right now, there are so many wonderful, life-changing, brilliant support organisations that exist in the vulg sector, and their job is getting increasingly hard because the problem is getting worse and the funding is getting smaller. One of the things that we need to be working on alongside support is prevention. Instead of just picking up the pieces, how do we stop the harm in the first place? And that is where we need to be radical. That's what the government are asking for. That's what survivors are asking for. We started our work with Enough by speaking to survivors and understanding, for those who didn't report, why was that and what do they wish had been available to them, and then creating that. Because we believe that if the overwhelming majority of survivors have a reporting option available to them, whether that's the police, the SARC or something else, then that creates a threat for perpetrators that does not exist today. It signals to perpetrators that survivors are overwhelmingly speaking up and they cannot get away with rape. The three main things that we learned through our research is that survivors do want more reporting options. They want the ability to anonymously, discreetly, privately document what's happened to them without telling anyone, without leaving their home, in a way that gives them time to think. They want to be able to stop this happening to other people and feel that their immediate action has created immediate prevention and deterrence. And they also want to get better without depending on therapy, because while it can be life-changing for some, we all know it does not help everyone. So we set about creating that. We've built a system of reporting where you can go on, you can digitally record what's happened to you. You store that as a safe, encrypted journal, essentially, including parts where if you want to share it anonymously on social media with no identifying information, then that will go out via Enough social media platform and be seen by thousands of students on the university campus where that report was made. That sends an immediate signal to perpetrators and wider students that survivors are speaking up and perpetrators cannot hide. You also have the ability to use a self-testing DNA kit that looks like this, and this is the option 3 of reporting. It's not as detailed forensically as going to the police or SARC, and we make that very clear, and before anyone uses it they have to tick a box saying that they understand that. On the back of the kit it tells you to go and look at all your reporting options. But what this allows people to do is for the individuals that do not feel comfortable going and getting that forensic examination, which many do not for various reasons, this allows them to store evidence and it gives them options for later. But the main purpose of this kit is to stop it happening in the first place. So while it's something that can be admissible in court in the same way that underwear and tampons are, and that also has been confirmed by a leading KC barrister that this can be admissible in court, the main purpose of it is actually to stop the harm happening in the first place. If you imagine thousands of these being in the hands, flats, societies around university, not to mention safe spaces where you can pick one up for free, that creates a visible, tangible signal of consequence for rapists that does not exist right now. Most rapists know that they can get away with it and so they continue to act, but in the same way that the breathalyzer prevented deaths from drink driving because of the tangible consequence and the signal of that through the breathalyzer and the public health campaign that surrounded it, these kits have the same effect when combined with student ambassadors and viral social media. There's also an indirect peer-to-peer education that happens because of this, because of the conversations it starts, not to mention male role models and allyship from young men coming and collecting these kits, and sports teams showing the side that they are taking and showing their solidarity with survivors by collaborating with Enough and that content going viral on social media. We also have a digital recovery platform for people who are unable to access therapy, either because the waiting lists are too long or because the cost of it is so high for those who go privately, and it's been proven that you can get the same recovery benefit from watching a video with a therapist as going to speak to a therapist. So while it is no replacement, and again we make clear the only thing that it's instead of is inaction, it can provide benefits for people that are not getting that support right now. And during our pilot in Bristol, 25,000 students were watching our recovery content per week. 8,000 of these kits were distributed, so were available everywhere, and 70% of students polled via their student societies said that they thought enough and the campaign had prevented rape on campus. Those results have led to us being inundated by requests from students at other universities to come and visit, and so we have been touring the UK and speaking to university students, showing them the 3 options that they can use to report. Each one has a detailed blurb on the back explaining how that would work, and then they scan a QR code to answer a survey. We're learning that while some students want to go to the police or SARC, similarly to within wider society, the majority want to be able to do something different. Almost none of them want to do nothing, but they want other reporting options that allow them to report in a way that is more discreet and anonymous. They also feel very reassured by the possibility of something like this existing on their university campus. They say that almost nothing, in their opinion, is being done right now in terms of prevention on campus. We are also preparing for city evaluations across the UK, and we are hoping to work with brave, bold, pioneering cities that want to show that they are on the side of the solution and taking those steps to create change versus following and remaining within the problem. We are all working towards the same objective, so we should all be helping each other, trying to make that happen. One thing I want to make clear about enough is that we believe that it complements the entire sector. So it's option 3, we make incredibly clear it's not instead of the police or SARC, and if anything, we think more reports to those routes will happen because of enough. We are retaining intelligence that would otherwise be lost, encouraging people to go to the police with that. And secondly, with SARCs, our social media and our conversations with students about those helps create awareness. Right now, from the survey results we've got from students, about 5 to 10% of them know about SARCs, and they all leave understanding what it is and how a SARC can help them.
I feel like there's no prevention. It's mainly just support, which is kind of like not solving the problem. But if they see people speaking about it, they can know that their actions will have consequences.
PRC, and we've had enough.
Boys and more societies tend to grow, the more people join them. And if we're learning about this now, being freshers, because we're all first years, we can bring that through in the next 3 or 4 years.
I think it's really important to as many people as possible to have them. So if you do know someone, you can just quickly give it to them discreetly.
I'm here today because I was assaulted 2 years ago, and these kits would have really helped me. I didn't go to the police and I didn't go to a SARC because I wasn't able to. That's why I'm here today, to give people an option I didn't have at the time.
Having a testing kit gives you that control back. People of our age, there's a lot of shame around rape and sexual assault, and people almost don't want to talk about it and don't want to acknowledge what's happened to them.
People should feel able to come out about it, and that there shouldn't be a stigma around it.
Several stories of friends going to the police, and it tends to not be taken as seriously.
It's just very traumatic to get the police involved.
Testing kind of gives you that autonomy over your own self to be like, you know what, this is serious, I'm going to take it seriously.
Self-testing kits, I feel like it will allow people to maybe open up a bit more, or share with people that oh, you can do these, there's other options that they have.
I think that this whole option 3 is really nice because it can be quite vulnerable to tell someone that story and not be taken seriously.